Like
It has to be in the recording.
Oh, it's already recording.
It's recording right now.
But this is pre-roll.
I was trying.
You're gonna cut this, aren't you?
No, I can leave it. You want me to leave it?
Let's leave it.
Okay, we'll leave it.
we should just cut ourselves.
cut ourselves.
According to John, we're starting now. So welcome to podcast. Oh God, I've been editing so many now. 22.
Yeah,
I think
20
yes.
just came out.
20, yeah, and I'm working on 21. So, okay, yes. And this is Memorial Day for us. So, happy Memorial's Day for those that are watching this 2 weeks from now. This is the Stupid Questions, Stupid Answers podcast where we just talk about some stupid crap. Starting from our left, we have
John.
And Kyle.
Andrew.
Peter the Hobbit hider.
The Hobbit hider?
Yes, I hide hobbits in various
Is
places.
this hobbits or hobbits?
Wait, Michael, they are already living in holes.
Yes,
Underground.
They do by force.
They're
I put
already
them.
hidden.
Are you the one who builds their house?
No, I don't build their houses. I just shove them into small holes.
They already are in small holes.
No, these are tiny holes which I cram them into.
Wait, so you go to a hole, drag them out of it, and then put them in a smaller hole.
Yes, for use. Because you never know when you need a hobbit, and it's good to have them in various places.
Wait, these are tactically hidden hobbits?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's dragging them out of their native holes and just putting them into smaller holes that they don't want to
That's
be
so
in.
rude.
No, they can barely move.
I like the
if at
idea.
all.
I like the idea though that you're just like you're like Scruffy and you're just like getting a hole and you just got to stick it. Like, it's my hobbit stick, and it's just like pushing it down. I turned that hole into a hobbit hole.
It is sad when they're like they can't move and their like muscles deteriorate and like they can't.
Wait, the hole's so
that's
small
sad.
that they can't even move?
They can't move around. You eventually just have to sell them.
So you just
As-
have to.
Sell some food.
Yes.
You just have
all
two
they're
hairy
good for.
feet just sticking out of a hole,
my
wiggling.
God.
Just,
Wait, so
It's pretty awful.
This is
go to-
awful.
when you
Yes,
go-
it is. This is pretty awful.
you go to buy a lot and it's like this baby's got 24 hobbits in it.
Yes. It was only rated for 10 hobbits, but I crammed 24 in there.
You can hear their voices.
The screams. The hobbit screams.
See, Mike, you think Michael's making this stuff up, but these are
If you
just
let
the
me
side
out, I'll
jobs.
give you gold. Leprechauns, it's different. He accidentally misappropriated a leprechaun.
Leprechauns are just
into a hobbit hole.
leprechauns are just hobbits with money.
See, this is
I'll give you my gold.
it's the moles that you were tickling are trying to get out, so you're jamming them in the holes. to
Yeah.
keep them-
Yes.
it's because he has to change jobs every 2 weeks.
I don't get to skip
Yeah.
the just
It's a lot of turnover. Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons for that.
identity. But anyways, we all bring a stupid topic or question to discuss. So, John, what was yours?
So you know how they call them fantasy races?
Sure.
And then
Okay.
you'll have like half orcs and half elves. Does that mean they're all the same species? And in which case, what species is that? That you can have like
The genome?
What's
yeah.
like the standard
The
species
2
that
hands,
connects them
2
all?
feet genome.
well, like if mer people and like kobolds are the same species.
Like,
can have half-
like how a Chihuahua and a Saint Bernard are technically the same. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
it's more like a donkey and a horse.
No, those are different species because they don't
Yeah.
breed true. Like the offspring is generally
It's-
Are you
sterile.
telling me that a kobold mermaid would breed true?
It would be a half kobold, half mermaid.
So you're saying
How
that,
would that even function?
that if they're
It would swim and get eaten by a dragon.
so
I
because
feel like
they
that's far enough. Like orc and human, maybe that's humanoid, but you're getting to fish people.
have you seen the side
I
of the
don't,
water?
I
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah.
They don't.
Shooby-Doo.
All fantasy, it never says, oh, here's a different fantasy species. It's here's a different fantasy race.
Good GMs limit your brain power.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I can understand that, like, because by genetics, they would have to have very similar genetics because as soon as you are, I think that's the definition of a new species.
Yeah.
Well,
is
yeah.
you can no longer reproduce, therefore
Well,
it's
like-
broken off.
Orcs and humans. Orcs are just green people with big teeth.
How do you know?
Because they can breed, apparently.
Have you? There's various monkeys that you probably look at and say like, oh, they're all the same, but they're probably very different species.
Yeah, bonobos.
Well, apparently
and
not.
chimps.
Could you crossbreed a bonobo and a chimp?
No, not
They're
at
different
all.
species. They look very, very similar, but they know they're
But
different
like
species.
at the
because they-
same time,
like
again,
bonobos will fuck anything.
like you can like take like a terrier and a greyhound, and
The
they're
bus?
very different looking things.
And they
But they're
breed.
still dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
We say
breed
they're
them.
still
Either
dogs
they're
because you can breed them.
Yeah.
So you're saying that orcs are humans?
I'm saying that if you have two things that look very different, they can still be the same species.
So
Okay.
Yes.
is an orc
Yes.
Homo sapien?
Yes.
So
Is an
I
elf
guess.
Homo sapien?
Yeah, definitely.
So
Like,
was-
the only
yeah.
difference is 20 years and a longer life.
Is a kobold Homo sapien?
No.
It's
It is a
humanoid.
ground creature.
It is kind of. It is
It's
more
kind of
rat
like-
than man.
It's kind of like a cut between a mole, a rat, and a worm.
I
A
want to say
worm?
that's racist because they're a fantasy race and it's derogatory.
It is derogatory. Kobolds are dumb.
Well, I like kobolds.
What a, like red caps
they're just
are also
rat
one of those
people.
things. Like red caps are awful.
Gnomes. Yeah, they're murderous gnomes.
They're very, very murderous.
Isn't kobolds essentially just the vermintide? And you murder them relentlessly?
No, vermintide
more
is
lizard
different.
based.
Skaven.
Skaven's different.
Skaven.
That's the
Skaven
vermintide.
Skaven is a specific race.
Wait, is it a race or is it a species?
Can they mate with rats?
Yeah.
Could you be a half Skaven?
Can I have children with my rat wife? That is the
That
important
is the question.
That is the question.
Wait, this feels like you're just trying to validate something, John.
Is this okay? We're all the same species.
It's fine.
Are kobolds lizards?
Yeah.
They're rat.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, they're rats,
They're the
aren't they?
rats.
No, they're lizards. They're like worship dragons because they're.
Jurassic would know. He's in chat
Why?
listening.
They can have
I
wings.
always see them as
What am I
like furry.
thinking of then?
You're
I was
thinking of
thinking
the
of-
Warcraft kobolds, which are
Yeah,
Yeah, those
they
are
got
rats.
candles on their heads.
Yes.
They're weird.
No
They're-
take candle.
But
No.
they're rats.
Those are definitely rats.
And I think when I played Dungeon Defenders, they had rats with bombs that ran
Yeah,
and screamed.
yeah.
They were called kobolds as
So
well.
they,
they're
so
rats.
they lizards or rats?
So why? What is a kobold then in that definition?
has somebody defiled the kobold name?
Is this
original cold?
Kobolds seem to change no matter or depending on what setting you're in.
How do you-
Like
some-
D&D, they're lizards.
Yeah.
Warcraft, they're weird whiskered mole people with
So
candles.
It's
that
important.
looks like basically a dragon rat. Is that what those are? That
yeah,
looks like
it
a dragon. It looks like a dragon marsupial.
maybe it's like a dragon puppy. So this is when a
dragon
dragon and
puppy?
a dragon and a puppy had. Well, this is kind of like Shrek, where they did
yeah,
the
the
donkey.
donkey and the donkeys
Yeah,
and dragons.
see?
Oh,
It's
they're
a
the
fantasy
same
universe.
species.
Oh,
That one-
They have to.
Dragons and donkeys are the
They
same
have to be,
species.
yeah.
That one I have a lot of questions with that
No.
are definitely not for this
The
podcast.
donkey.
They're different species, so all of those babies are sterile.
Oh, no, that is true. There's
That is
like
You
True.
don't want those things reproducing.
you can have like ligers in real life where you
Yeah.
have a tiger and a lion breed and they have a big old crazy like super baby that can never have children.
yeah, it's
invincible.
you, your poodles, and your hummingbirds.
No, have you ever seen like a actual liger? They're like twice as big as their parents and just terrifying as all heck.
Well, they're like eunuchs.
Well, they
Can't
have
reproduce, but they're big and they're terrifying.
I think they have the equipment. They just there's nothing that quite matches.
They're shooting blanks.
So, are they? Or are they just shooting something that nothing can copulate with?
well, a liger and a liger can't have kids.
Yes.
Yeah, but they
Correct.
can have a lot of fun.
That's a blank.
I suppose. I don't know enough about ligers.
Do you want to learn?
I do now.
I wish to Google liger.
Yes. I've seen pictures of them. They're freaking huge.
So John, what was the answer you're looking for?
I have no idea.
What species is it that encompasses kobolds, humans, merpeople, and orcs?
I would just say humanoid.
I would. Yeah, I'd just say two hand, two hip, two.
Yeah, fish people need not apply.
That'd be Chicagans.
Chicagoanian.
Yes. They're all from Chicago.
They're all from Chicago.
Chicago's.
Wagwin.
Is that a crazy rat man? No, that's just Jim. He's our super for the building.
He's got 4 parents.
He doesn't talk much, but he does a good job working the pipes.
Yeah, and his off time, he works at Second City.
He was like, "How you doing, Jim?" He's like, "Gah!" He runs away.
He cuddles into the bedboard.
Classic Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Jim. He does good work though.
He does good work.
He gets paid more than us.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah, you have a clog, I'll just dive right into the toilet and run it out.
So Kyle,
Yeah, Kyle, what was your question?
My question was dumb.
Okay.
This is not
yes, my insightful
obviously-
treatise on
Yeah, it's not
the
as,
breeding habits of fantasy racing.
yeah, it's not as interesting as Jim from The Office, though.
And Pam.
Mine was more like
Is Pam a kobold then?
Pam's like the lizard version of Cobalt. We got the rat version of Cobalt and the lizard version of Cobalt. They try to copulate, make weird lizard rat babies because they're fairly sure they're the same species.
Is that on the birth certificate?
Yes.
Race weird lizard rat baby.
Weird lizard rat baby.
But anyways, Kyle, what do you got?
Oh no, there's a picture.
we know of all of cheese. We know cheese.
Yeah,
but like
Can you explain what this?
It's made from lice.
yes,
It was outlawed in Austria for a decade.
We know cheese though, and we know bad cheese. But like, what is weaponized cheese?
It has a gun.
It has a gun. What is the worst cheese?
Bullet cheese.
Manufactured by man.
I bought
American.
some like
American.
Kraft singles. Yeah.
Wow,
That is
that's
the
crap.
worst.
That is the worst cheese.
Oh yeah,
It's not
even.
It's
It's not cheese though.
No,
cheese.
It's barely.
It is.
Soybean oil.
When we were doing our grill out recently, I actually had to convince my boss not to get Kraft singles to pick up cheddar. And then when I got back to the office, my coworker, who you were aware of, got upset with me because I convinced him not to get Kraft singles because he wanted to eat Kraft.
Kraft is not
Kraft singles are just soybean oil, aren't they?
It's oil. It's like a dairy product that's made a completely different way from cheese.
Yeah.
It's not cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand like it has that melty thing. You put it on something with even just a little bit of heat, it's gonna melt. But I prefer cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cheese
I like
is
real
good.
cheese too. But like,
The
what's the
defining-
worst cheese?
The dividing line I find is Velveeta. Like I don't like
that's true.
Kraft singles.
That's not
I don't
cheese
like
either.
Velveeta. But there are people who will agree. Kraft singles, no, not cheese. But Velveeta, yeah, that's a great dip.
Those are the same people who say that McDonald's coffee is the best coffee.
Well, no, McDonald's new coffee is not bad, but they could do better. No, I think that Velveeta has a place. Like if you're trying to make a certain type of melted
Motel?
cheese, it's a simple way of just say mix salsa and Velveeta together, you get cheese.
Okay,
again.
yeah, that's
So
actually pretty decent.
There are uses for it because you're not going to get a cheese like that isn't going to be like too sticky or too everything else. It's a useful cheese, but if you're just going to go and make a sandwich, don't put Velveeta on it.
But if you
Yeah.
just have a block of cheddar and you keep it warm.
Could you imagine thinly sliced Velveeta
I've had
on
that
a sandwich?
I was at Burger Jones and I had a burger that was Velveeta cheese, chicken fried bacon, and something else
no,
on it.
I have a visceral
Like,
reaction to
it
sliced
was-
Velveeta. Like that's not a thing.
It was okay, but it was a little bit. The cheese is like, it's like you get that super sharpness of like a cheddar would give with that much Velveeta, but you don't really get any of the cheese flavor.
no, that's what my dad always used to keep in the fridge for his sandwiches was just a brick of Velveeta cheese.
No.
And he would just slice it up for like the deli meat sandwiches he would eat.
That's so wrong.
He did a lot of things I did not.
Like you have such
Agree
good
with.
sandwich cheeses like Gouda or
Well,
Jarlsberg or
for
Munster.
him,
Swiss.
for him, it wasn't about what's the best cheese. It was about what he grew up eating. It was all about eating that thing that he ate as a kid because it was all attached to some nostalgia. So it wasn't even about learning new things or finding new things. It was about reliving that childhood over and over and over again. But that was him. Personally, I enjoy good cheese.
But this is just going into what is cheese. But your question,
My question was,
what is
what
weaponized
is
cheese?
like weaponized? Like what is the worst cheese you can imagine? Like Lindenberger mixed with Limburger mixed with
Limburger's
someone else.
good.
Actually, you know what? I did that once.
Dare you?
It was the XXX habanero one that I got, and then you don't tell people. because
Yeah.
because I had a coworker that did that. She wanted some super hot cheese, and so I bought XXX habanero. She said the hottest thing they had, and then she decided to cut some up on little plates and nice little decorated with some crackers, and then gave it to people around the office and just said, "Here's some cheese and crackers," and the it was hilarious, the reactions. But like you could hurt somebody with some of that
Yeah.
because this is hot. Like our boss, she gave it to, and he took a bite, and he was like grasping his desk and hyperventilating. And then he comes out and he goes, "When you say the cheese has a little kick, I'm gonna believe it next time."
Yes.
So for me, weaponizing it, you take a blue cheese
Yes.
and then the molds, like the colony in there, anthrax.
Wait.
Anthrax
No.
cheese.
Yes, anthrax brand blue
This
cheese.
is legit weaponized cheese. The reason I say yes to blue cheese, though, is at Kroger's back where I used to live, they had a blue cheese that was like called Prince Royal blue cheese. It was like super blue cheese. It was mostly mold. That was the whole thing of the cheese. It was mostly the blue part. And I was like, it was like a pretty super expensive cheese. And like, oh, this is a fancy cheese. I'm going to buy this cheese.
It's the scrapings they got off the outside of the good cheese.
And I got this like super blue cheese and some crackers. And I go to eat some like, this is mold. And like, normally I like blue cheese and some things, but this was just like heavy, the mold portion. They just like, let's let it keep going and see what happens cheese. And like I finished it because it was expensive. But
John, I want to go back to where you said anthrax brand. Like, okay, so is this like a trademark? Like a company is like, this is our specialty.
Well,
Anthrax
it's produced by Blackwater.
Yeah, they're not allowed to send any mail.
I'd like a good cocaine cheese.
How do you...
Crack
That doesn't
cheese.
sound like a weapon.
Crack cheese. This could be a weapon.
Well, I guess actually it could. Like if you knew that it was like, say, a politician and they were going to be drug tested or an athlete, you could get
Sabotage
them.
cheese.
Yeah, you could sabotage somebody with the cheese.
it does sound like a
Cheese.
that doesn't sound like a weaponized cheese. That's a fun time cheese.
That's the fun time.
You just can't go to work the next day. But the anthrax cheese, like I just find it's the last cheese you'll ever want.
Yeah.
Uranium-235 cheese.
Because you'll be dead after.
What's the half-life of this cheese?
What is the half-life of this cheese? I think we've had this question before, and it ended up being how many sort of vibrate with it. And technically, if it's a uranium-235 cheese, it would vibrate pretty quickly.
It's very dense.
It's very dense.
I think the one thing that they should make is they need to make Gushers cheese balls. So like it's a cheese ball, but but inside inside it is something else.
What?
So the outside is still the gummy candy.
The outside is
like the fruit
it's like,
filling?
It's like a cheese ball that's shaped like a Gusher, but inside put something else that would go well with cheese.
More
But this
cheese.
is a
It
weapon.
would just be more cheese.
Well, maybe, yeah, or I don't know.
Sweet anthrax center.
No.
Asbestos.
Asbestos center.
Delicious.
It's pure lead.
Ow, my teeth.
No, you could chew it. It would just take a
You
long
would not.
time.
If you can chew lead, you have some amazing teeth.
You have a
see
good
the-
jaw muscle.
I can see the box. It's like Gushers cheese with paint chips.
So if the outside is a really
19th
hard or a really sharp cheddar and the inside is a really soft brie,
Yeah, see, like if you
That
put,
sounds good, actually.
or the inside, like if you put, well, it'd be hard to make a liquid cheese without like
Oh, like a
room temperature.
monster.
A brie is
Really,
just about as
really
liquid as
runny
it
cheese.
can be.
Oh, yes, there we go. So could you just
Emmentaler?
bacon?
Eh.
Put bacon in the middle.
I like cheese and cheese.
I like the idea of like a sharp cheddar surrounding Munster. That sounds good to me.
That does sound good, actually. Like if I'm imagining my perfect cheese, it would be like a provolone or something with more really a neutral flavor on the outside, but then like a really, really sharp Gouda on the inside.
Like a mozzarella on the outside or something.
A mozzarella and then like a really sharp Gouda.
Like
on the center.
like a stinky cheese.
But for me, I don't want cheese to go with cheese. I want cheese with bread. So that's why a cheese curd is amazing. It's because it's breading on the outside.
Yeah. But it's hard to put something in the middle of like something like that. But I just think again the texture.
What
would be there.
if I know it's impossible because of physics, but like what if you're to make a brie cheese curd?
Why is that impossible? That's not impossible.
The melting point of brie is far too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
far
make
too low.
deep fried ice cream.
It would have to be really small. Just
I've
that it would
never
hold
heard
together.
of that.
You've never had deep fried ice cream?
No.
Yeah, they have
It's
it at the state
delicious.
fair.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
just kind of a
They
smoky
deep
ice
fry
cream.
ice cream.
It's because they
drop it in real
only
quick.
deep fry the outside and they don't keep it in for very long at all.
It's like
so the
real
outside, the outside, the very outer layer does melt, but then the inner layers freeze it again. Mm-hmm. Because there's more ice cream in the inside providing the cold than there is.
Yeah.
Next time at the state fair, I know they do have it
I
there.
don't think I've never.
I've
It
only
was-
remembered eating it at Mexican restaurants.
Yeah,
It's
I've
not
had it in Mexican
something-
restaurants.
It's good, but it's not something I'm like going to go out of my way to.
It's not one of those
It's like
things
Dippin'
where.
Dots.
Well,
Yeah.
Occasionally.
It's like
It's fancy.
One of those things
Yeah.
where you go to the state fair and you're like, I want to try that. And you try a deep fried Milky Way candy bar and then you just leave feeling horrifically sick.
That's when you want to hate yourself.
That is a successful state fair trip.
Now, my favorite
feel
deep
like
fried thing
ill.
at the state fair is the deep fried olives.
That does sound good. I like
Especially
olives.
when they're olives deep fried with cheese in the middle.
Well,
Because you got melted cheese.
Leave out the
But
cheese.
you have to go to
I
the
don't-
frickle stand to get frickles and then deep fried olives.
Oh, my favorite thing there has always been the wild rice burger. Because that
yeah.
beef
Yep.
with like that, it's like half wild rice, and it's such a good mix. It's so good.
Wild rice is kind of a meatier rice, or if that's the way to put it.
Yeah, but that's why they mix
yeah.
it with meat.
Well, it's mostly
toothsome.
it's the hull. What is the outside part of the grain that's not the interior starch portion, but not the hull?
I know what you're talking about.
That's what
fat.
most of what wild rice is. It's a very long, thin, kind of stocky
thick
grain.
You have to cook it forever. That's why everyone just
it's-
eats it as a soup, because in soup you can just cook it to death.
A wild rice soup is a wonderful thing.
Yes,
Oh, it
that is a good
So
thing.
you
That's kind
say-
of a
I've had it,
northern
like,
thing.
Twice, and I've only had it here because
We
it didn't
have-
like
Minnesota.
it.
Because we've got a lot of it.
My parents make one that's my grandma's recipe. I'll have to give you some at some point because it's
Good stuff.
fantastic.
Yeah, maybe
What's
next.
your question, Argo?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my question was, we're developing a lot of new and cheaper ways to get into space, and I thought, like, what interesting things would we like to see in space? So I thought, what sport would you want to see played on the moon?
Ooh, Calvin ball.
Is that a real sport?
No.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking real sports. Like,
no, it's real.
okay, what is it?
Actually, no. Is it?
How do you
If
not
half
know?
of it is imaginary and the other half of it isn't made up
No,
of any
I'm-
rules,
Wait,
does that
half
mean
of it is imaginary, the other half is made up. Is this a real
Yeah.
sport? No. No, it is
I mean,
not.
it's a real sport to me.
Well, I'm thinking like the sports that everybody knows, like the ones that are like athletic things. Like,
Golf.
what would you want to see? Golf.
No, they
We've
already
already
did that.
had golf.
That would be fun. Like the
you
entire
have to be really careful with the golf.
No, what I want to see, water polo.
Yes. That would
One-
be expensive.
1/3 gravity water polo. If all the water leaves the pool, everybody loses.
We collected all the water on the moon so that we could have this expensive sports game.
No, it's not open air. This is in like a stadium where no one else is in the stadium.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No, like if it was just a ball of water, but there was just air bubbles floating through,
Yeah.
and the only way you could live was by trying to swim
No,
towards whatever the
everyone
water.
is
What is
wearing
this, Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Everyone is wearing scuba gear.
Oh, that makes it less fun.
It's not a professional sport if everyone dies on the fields. You've got to die of brain damage like
This is the
5 years
moon.
after the fact.
Everybody dies on the moon
No one's died on the moon yet.
So far.
so far.
That's why I said yet.
we know of.
This is a new era of sports.
I'm just imagining a very bored sports announcer. And he's throwing the ball. And as the batter steps up to the plate, he hit the ball. That means it's a home run. It's going. He made it going. It's left the gravitational pull of the moon.
Oh, I want to see.
I guess that's a home run.
But they have the field is so big, so like the pitcher is like a mile away, and he's just like whoop.
Slowly.
No.
Would they all have segways or some sort of a...
Oh, the segways on the moon.
No, it's like
get
little,
around,
little,
go run the
those
bases.
little ramblers that they have with the 4-wheel kind of go-kart.
The moon buggies.
Yeah, the moon buggy, but they're flipping them over. They're turning over. They're crashing. There's some. Oh, it's already the third quarter. There's fires in the outfield.
I wanted to see.
John C. Smith is fired his dune buggy again.
I want to see football, but I want to see football where they replace the normal ball with a bowling ball.
American football.
So like they can whip
no
it around.
air,
Wait.
no air, solid lead.
If you tried to kick a field goal on the moon,
They get a new kicker every game.
Crunch snap.
it's off into space.
But like, imagine trying to stop that guy, like, because you would have to give it much motion.
He would have a solid steel boot on. he would have a 45-pound boot just to kick the ball.
I've always imagined, like, what if there was like aliens on a moon that was roughly the size of our moon? If a human appeared there, they would appear superhuman by any standards.
They could leap tall buildings in a single bound.
No.
They could kick a child so hard it launches them out.
More powerful than a locomotive.
Well, I can't remember. What is the moon 30%?
It's like 33%.
It's around the 30, yeah.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to jump a building. You could probably maybe jump to like a first story window, but with the current gear that they're wearing, usually it's too bulky. Some of the new stuff like SpaceX has, maybe, that's a little bit more mobile, but also I wouldn't want to do things that might tear my suit.
How does the moon compare to Mars in terms of gravity?
Mars has
I think Mars is
0.8.
bigger.
No, Mars is 0.8, I thought.
I think the moon's like a sixth of Earth's gravity, and Mars is like a third, or something.
Well,
No, I'm not sure. I'm guessing.
Yeah, Argo can
pretty
check
sure the moon was
because
a third.
trivia.
So moon gravity, just checking moon, is 1.62 meters per second. So that is actually that is less
well, that's
than
an eighth.
That's much less.
Wait, 0.162?
1.62.
Wait,
Mars.
1.62.
9.8. 9.6 is.
He's talking about gravitational acceleration, where Earth is like
Yeah.
8 something.
No,
it's
Mars is
9.8.
9.8. Mars is 3.7, so it's somewhere about a little
So
over a
that's
third.
the
A
third.
little less.
The sun is 274.
We're not going to be walking on the sun.
Might as well be walking on the sun.
Mercury is about the same as Mars, 3.7.
Playing water polo on the surface of the sun.
Venus is 8.87.
That would be expensive.
What if we had like a dog race on the surface of the moon?
We'd never get those dogs again.
But the rabbit just leaves the rail and then just starts flying off into the outer space, and the dogs just follow the rabbit into outer space.
Yeah, I want to.
I'm just thinking, you know how lanky greyhounds are on Earth?
Yeah,
Imagine lower gravity greyhounds.
they would run.
They would be
so
sticks.
They would be run so fast that they would be basically.
They would just be the stick
They would
bugs.
kill themselves.
Yeah.
They would be furry stick bugs.
I want to see like any animal on the moon in any sport because they would put them in little adorable suits, and that would be pretty cool.
That would be
So
Koala in a spacesuit.
yeah, anything. I don't care what it is. Like the monkey in the spacesuit from like Space Force.
Blobfish.
Blobfish. Oh
Blobfish.
no, you'd be so big.
He actually would be in a normal shape if he was in outer space.
Maybe.
Because, or actually, no.
No, he
Wait,
exists in really high pressure.
Yeah, actually,
and then
you're
he
right. No.
explodes in normal pressure.
That's why he'd be big.
And then if he was in abnormal low
like-
pressure.
It's like the opposite of the Futurama
oh
quote.
my God,
of,
he'd be like,
we're in a spaceship. We're under high pressure. How much pressure can a spaceship take? Anywhere from
0 to 1.
yeah. Anywhere from 0 to 1.
What kind of sport would you
Yeah.
want to see?
Well, I was mentioning the baseball peoples,
Yeah.
but I suppose pogs.
Hogs.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
not a real sport.
No, how dare you, sir?
Yeah,
That was like the sport of my
I
childhood.
want to see Overwatch leagues.
So
Yeah.
you're not
No.
picking up like fencing
You-
with
you-
like glowing.
You slam that slammer down, and the pogs go flipping, and they
They-
fly up, and it's like 20 minutes.
You get extra points if you can reach.
You're not even going like
escape velocity.
actual old man times with marbles.
marbles. You'll never
Yeah.
get them back.
Pogs, you're never.
Pogs are gonna come back down eventually.
Hungry hippos.
Ooh, those would not work at all.
You would,
Perfect.
you would hit that thing once, and the marbles would just go flying.
My initial thought was like
every direction.
Ender's Game, but Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, I thought that'd be good.
Dr. Device Hippo edition.
Anyways, Michael, what was your question?
All right, I had to revert to my backup question because I got caught up in cooking potatoes today. It's
Wait. Why did cooking potatoes
well,
You
result
said
in
you reverted, which means that you went from a question to this question.
I'm going to this question. This is my backup question in case I forget to think of a question. But it's also about
Then it's
space.
just your question.
yeah, it's my question now.
Okay.
But it's also about space.
What is it?
My question is, who here would, if you got to be forever remembered in human history for going to another planet, being one of the first colonists to a new planet far away, but you never got to come home, and it would be a one-way trip, and it'd be kind of harsh, but you would be remembered forever. Would you do it?
I already said that I'd be shot into the sun.
Yeah. Well, that's after
I said that months
That's
ago.
after
dead.
dead, but
You get to continue living. You just live on a different
No, I'm
planet.
gonna be shot into the sun. I'd be dead.
No, he's not
question
dead.
I would have: green women?
No, it's a completely new planet. No, you're
Wait, you wanted
Unspoiled by women.
wait the Earth.
No, green women are a positive, Kyle.
Wait, what is with
They
you and
are.
harems?
I still women.
I'm lonely.
he has a point.
The last time, like, it's the end of the world, can I have a harem? You're like, I'm going to go to another planet. Is there a harem?
Like if I was told,
No, this is a whole different species. I mean, you had 3.5 billion women last time.
Wait, did you guys work this out? This is why he asked his question first. Is this okay?
no,
I am
like,
seeing a thread. Yes.
Like I think of the question like you'll be remembered throughout history. Like Neil Armstrong is one of the first people to colonize a new world. But you'll never be able to come home. But there's sexy green women there. That'd be a no-brainer.
But the thing
you get no green women. There are none.
No. What it is that you're the first person to ever test teleportation.
No, it's not.
But then,
Teleportation.
yeah, but then they
Wait,
never find you
teleportation.
ever again. But you were the first.
Well, if they never find you again, then
You were still the
you'd
first.
be dead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You still left.
That's like saying,
That's something.
we put you on Voyager 7. Yeah, you're never waking up, but you got to leave the solar system.
No,
Go you.
No, Walt Disney's head left on Voyager 7.
No, I
It's
would
already
say
colonized New World.
I would say no because I don't care about a legacy. Some people
Yeah.
would care about it, so I wouldn't care. But if you went out somewhere, like there'd be no internet.
No, there would be no internet. You basically be like frontier person, but on a whole new
What
world.
would you be doing?
Factorio.
Just trying to build a new civilization.
Yourself?
Build a factory.
No, you're just going to be other people.
There's going to be other people.
Yeah.
So they're not green women.
Wait, so
But-
you're not.
What if there were a planet of green women? Then would you go?
Well, I'd be asking the question of,
There's
wow,
marketing
how did
happening.
they evolve to?
No, but that is without that concern. Would that change your opinion?
No.
Michael,
Oh, come on.
in this concept, are you saying we are being shot out alone, or is this part of a mission?
It's a group of people, but
many?
you would never be able to go
so
home.
we're like on
Enough
the
to
Enterprise.
establish a colony large enough to like
Do you like these people?
they were picked for their
That's not
qualifications.
answering my question.
I mean, you might like some of them. I don't know. That's up to you.
So for the next part, I have improv trivia again because regular trivia is hard. I have made up some questions. These are fake questions.
Oh, thank God.
If they have real answers, what do you mean? Thank God.
Because I was forced to do real questions last time.
Oh, well, you still can make things up.
Yeah,
You're
there's-
making him look dumb.
There's no winners for improv trivia, only
Yeah.
losers.
Yeah, so these are fake questions. They may have a real answer because I maybe just happen to make stuff up, but these are completely made up. And the idea is the person I'm asking the question to has to answer the question with whatever they want, but they have to give us the story as to why it's true. So they basically anything they state is true. So, John, I have your first question.
He's drinking right now.
Okay.
All right. So your question is: the original pilot for the Care Bears was rejected by producers for what reason?
Horny police.
Really? You know
I
what?
can see that.
Yeah.
If I've seen anything for Robot Chicken, it's probably true.
I mean, those bears are pretty attractive, right?
Now the FCC were
Right,
looking,
everyone.
they were looking at it, and it was, yeah. What's that symbol on that chest? No, that's not passing muster. Just no. The handcuffs. No.
I'm neo-Nazi bear. He's like, well, we're gonna have to change that one, aren't you?
What's on your chest? Is that some chemical stuff? Like that's meth.
It's the recipe for
I
meth.
just imagine them. I imagine them going to the creator of Care Bears, like, sir, why are all the Care Bears like marks on their stomachs, various sex toys? It's like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
That bear has a leather mask and zippers over his nipples. What's going on?
Everyone has zippers over their nipples. It's called a jacket. Come on, get your head out of the gutter.
I'm just imagining a Care Bear with like the Shiba Inu with a bat.
Oh no.
Just
I'm
the ball.
imagining leash Care Bear.
It's like everyone likes pets,
The safe
right?
word is love.
Oh no.
That's the word.
I'm Ball Gag Care Bear.
I don't have very many lines in this series. You know why.
All right, good. Thank you, John.
Good stuff. Thank you, John.
For S&M Bears.
Oh no.
So, Kyle, I have your question.
Okay.
Before the invention of gravity, what force was responsible for keeping planetary objects together?
Love.
Love.
It was love.
Oh, the
The moon loves the earth.
will keep us together.
Jupiter loves all of its children except for those two that they left.
Now, Jupiter, that's the Roman god. That's getting into horny, weird stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
imagining
correct.
everyone around the world like, if we all hold hands, we'll stay on this planet forever with the power of love. Like, hold on, somebody gets a text message like, hold on, let's go in the whole it's like
The whole
this
planet
like,
explodes.
no.
I just
They all start floating away.
I just like the thought of everybody like at one point or another in the future just kind of like being like meh about the moon and then just to
Meh
leave and
about
then the
the
tide
moon?
and then the tides start like wreaking havoc and then like the ocean
Wait,
starts
why is love?
sloshing back and
Why
forth.
is love destroying the world? It's via the moon.
Because that's
Yeah.
what he said. It's gravity is
That's the only thing.
Kyle, are you
Love is the
saying-
most destructive force on the earth.
Are you saying that
Is
the
the
moon is
universe-
Tinkerbell, and if we don't all clap, it's going to go away?
Yes.
I feel like the moon wants us dead.
Yes, everyone clap, or else the moon's going to explode and we're all going to die.
Just
No, it's-
frantically clapping.
Well, that's like
It's not even gonna leave. It's gonna
Crying.
gradually leave, and then maybe come back.
Yeah.
And then it might leave a little bit again, but I'll send you a text message, and then it'll like maybe make a weird calls, and then it will leave.
We're going to be ghosted by the moon.
Yes.
I feel like
If we don't love it
Ghost
enough.
I feel like the saying that you have to clap or you're going to die is like screaming at somebody's face to calm down.
The moon is a strong, independent celestial body, and it don't need no planet.
Yeah.
it will kill us all.
It'll flood most landlocked nations. It's fine.
Oh, we don't need them anyway.
Wait,
We're in Minnesota. We're as far
we're
from
not a
everything as possible.
landlocked nation.
Yeah, we're so far from the water. We got the
We've got
longest
an
amount of
inland
time.
freshwater sea.
Yeah,
It's
it's fine.
It's
true.
actually quite impressive.
It would take a while.
It's superior to all other freshwater seas.
Okay, so
You
Mike,
can, you can drink it.
You can. I
Mike,
wouldn't,
like,
but
don't drink it.
what?
What? Why not? It's cold. It's got cold.
It's got fish pee in it.
It's got dead bodies floating in it.
All water has fish pee in it.
Dead bodies at the bottom. It doesn't give
I mean,
up corpses.
how much water is in recycled fish pee at this
Do you,
point?
yeah, do you think
Spaniards
that?
down there?
Do you think
Spaniards?
that?
No, it's Frenchmen.
We're all drinking.
There
fish
are more
pee.
dead French people in Lake Superior than there are
Why?
dead Spaniards.
Actually, you are correct. Yes.
Le voyageur.
No voyage. Drinking French people.
Okay.
Michael, I have your question.
I don't know the answer.
You're not. Well, no, you do.
I do. Oh, of course.
Michael, your question. Apple and Microsoft were in talks of a merger for years, but the deal never went through. For what reason?
Bill Gates told Steve Jobs that his face was wrong.
I was waiting for
Where's the ding? Which one's the ding?
There was no. Well, there you get it.
He looked at Bill Gates. It's like you got a stupid face, and Steve Jobs was like, "No, you got a stupid face." And then
I hate turtlenecks.
and then they started slap fighting. And then Steve Jobs bit him on the hand on Bill Gates, and then
Bill
and then he
Gates-
cried, and then Steve Jobs cried and called
Yeah.
Bill Gates his mom.
And then Bill Gates bought 80% of African land.
And then Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Yeah,
Ligma. Damn, I know. It gets the
it's
best
always
of
the
us.
ligma,
It's always the ligma.
always. But the important thing is their moms got involved, and then
Oh, they mediated.
Yeah.
they talk, they do like, and
They
then
held them
started-
both by the ear and just.
Yeah, and then the merger never happened.
Okay.
They're a couple
Okay, John?
nerds.
What's your question?
Okay. Thank you,
So
Michael.
my next question.
That is what happened. I didn't make it up. It's just what happened.
Wait, do I get to ask another question or?
No, you get another question.
Oh, I get to ask another question. Okay.
No. I get to ask you another question.
Oh.
Let's ask you questions.
No.
Fine.
Well, you could, but nobody ever puts the prep in.
Well, we don't have to put prep in.
Yeah. No.
Like, why did the Smurfs kill
Quick, Argo, finish your question.
Okay, John, here's your question. Pretoria, the country founded by PETA in 1982, is the world's leading exporter of what resource?
Pandas.
Pandas.
Yeah.
Wait, why do they export
China's
pandas?
going to be very
No,
upset.
it's because they're the only country that's been able to get pandas to reproduce. Like, they specialize in panda porn.
Ooh, 4 pandas.
Yeah.
Four
four
pandas.
Yeah.
They get pandas horny.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, if you were ever to watch like panda porn, like it's too slow.
I feel like they just
It is,
show them.
But it's not meant for you, Kyle.
It's like a 6.5 month rating manual.
It's not for you, Kyle.
No, it's not for me, but I mean, like, if
But he's
we're gonna
watched
be
every
having,
episode.
you know,
I like to imagine that
3 or 4 seasons on Netflix. I mean, Jesus.
I like to imagine that PETA found out that showing pandas the movie Good Burger just got them really ramping. Like, just that movie just really riles up
Do we know
pandas.
why? No. Does it work?
Yes, every time.
What I want to...
2 or 3 times.
My bigger question is how they figure that out. Like, why were they showing pandas?
They were throwing everything at the wall,
Yes.
and that's
All they had left was the movie Good Burger from 1996.
dubbed in French.
It really riles
yes,
up pandas.
French good burger.
French Good Burger.
La G is a burger.
It's like, ooh.
No, like Kenan Thompson has been doing Saturday Night Live. Kel has been making panda porn.
Yes.
True. It's true.
Only in Pretoria.
That guy grew up to do the "we ain't got no trouble" when he has the nuclear bomb in the back of the panel truck.
Oh, yeah. that was...
Yes, it was, which is a movie that cannot be made today, but it's an
what is the
amazing
full-
movie.
What is the full title of that?
Oh, it's long.
It's super long. Well, Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. I remember that part of it.
It's so good.
I think he
it's,
mostly
it's
does voice
so
acting now.
90s. He does, yes.
Gin and juice?
Like he's
Do
not
we
completely gone.
have a problem?
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Thank you.
But yeah, that was where he had a
That
nuke
was-
in the back of his truck.
That was one of the best movies I think I
was-
saw during that age. It
was-
was so good.
It's underrated.
What kind of juice?
It really is.
That's
Juice
just-
in the hood? You're selling juice in the hood?
No, it's mainly like normal movie, but they have like these weird things of like, why does he have a missile in the back of his truck? Like there's some funny
It's
over the top.
it's like old good SNL spliced into a Good Burger type movie.
I
should
just
watch that sometime.
I just
We should. We
I just
should.
remember him in that one superhero movie where he's like the Invisible Man. I can't remember what that was though.
Oh, Mystery Men.
Mystery Men, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, with the woman, the bowler, who has her dad's head in a bowling ball.
I liked Mystery Men.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen clips of
How'd
it.
he die? Well, he fell down an elevator shaft and landed on 5 bullets.
I just liked his superpower. Is like, I turn invisible. When nobody's looking at me, but only when nobody's looking. How do you know you're invisible? I can feel it.
I love that because he was.
No, yeah, like he could get past security cameras because nobody would be looking at him. As long as the security guards weren't paying attention, he could get past like automated security.
Yeah. Anyways, Kyle, I have your question.
Okay.
All right. Scientists discovered that children are not crazy and have proven that monsters do indeed live under your bed. What was the monster determined to be?
Oh, it was Steve.
Steve?
Yeah.
Just Steve.
Yeah.
It's just Steve. Like all he wants is representation, but he has literally no legislation approving of his existence.
Is this something? I actually thought you were just talking like, it's just some guy named Steve. He's
No,
just
it's
like,
not. It's not Steve the janitor. It's Steve
Wait,
the bed monster.
Can you describe, give us a physical description of
He's got at least 4 arms. He's a little fuzzy. It's kind of like what is that old children's book series that's horrifying if you actually read it? And it's
Strumfelpater.
Strumfelpater.
Yeah, it's the guy with the giant scissors who will cut off your thumbs if you suck them.
What?
That is the one.
It is
Awful.
It is a horrifying
that one.
German children's
I was
book.
thinking of Where the
Like-
Wild Things Are.
Really
but
wanted
that's a
some-
bit different.
Strumfelpater Google that shit. Like, if you don't shut up, someone's going to rip your tongue out with hot tongs.
Anything Scandinavian and
It's
child. Anything. Well, I mean, the Germans made literally every single childhood like story thing. What were the brothers' names?
Brothers Grimm. No, I remember the children's book that most traumatized me as a child. The actual title of this book was "The Goblins Will Get You If You Don't Watch Out."
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the whole book was, here are pictures of children in the woods with gigantic aggressive faces just kind of poking up saying, yeah, don't go into the woods.
Why'd your parents get this for you?
What about scary stories to tell in the dark?
My grandmother
That
used to
didn't
read
hold
those.
the candle because I didn't read that until I was like
I read
8
that
or
when
9.
I read that when I was like
Goblins
7.
will get you when you don't watch out. That was like when I was 5.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, like scary stories to tell in the dark. That was scary, and my grandmother used to read me those. But my parents, my mother particularly, convinced me the boogeyman was real, and he was going to kill me because she wanted me to go to bed.
Yeah.
And there, I remember one incident where I was up super late at night. My mom was still in college. She went back to college at one point, and she's like, "You better go to bed, or the boogeyman's gonna get you." Because she convinced me he will get me, he will eat me alive, and I will be gone forever. So I like freaked out when she told me this and jumped into the air. And she had all of her papers laid out on the couch. And I jumped into the air, laid down on top of all of her papers, and whispered, "Tell me when he's gone." Because I was terrified that he was going to eat me. And then she looks at me and she says, "No, if you stay here, he'll know you're awake. You have to go to your bed."
Where's the
and I'm terrified. I'm like frozen solid.
Wait, so is this
to
like
move.
the Babadook?
Where's the dun-dun-dun-dun?
Like, no, this is like, I had legit dreams, nightmares when I was a kid of the boogeyman reaching through my bedroom window and pulling me out of my bed and killing me as I laid there.
Your mother's a wonderful person.
My mother convinced me the boogeyman was real, and if I didn't do as I was told, he was going to kill me.
See, my mom did the other thing where she didn't purposefully
Oh,
traumatize me as a child, but she did it by accident by playing a video game where she was. It was like an old point and click adventure game where she had to find film for a camera. This is how she explained it back in the day. She had to find film for a camera.
Is this Slender Man?
It's not.
It sounds like Slender
But
Man.
she opened up a floor hatch in like an apartment, and there was a dead body, and it was like old Sierra graphics, of course.
like
But in
Phantasmagoria.
my yeah, exactly. But in my tiny child brain, it was a dead body with maggots crawling in and out of the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and the story was, and I don't even remember this. All I remember is that visage, and then my mom said she went, and she looked at me, and then I looked at her, and I started there was a pause, and then I started screaming, and then I ran all the way back upstairs.
But
I just
And
remember
then
the children's rhyme, just the worms crawl
And I
in,
think-
the
I think I
worms
was-
crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout.
Yes, but I still
Maggots are gonna crawl through your flesh after you're dead.
I would not. I think I was 4 or 5. I would not go to the bathroom alone for 2 years in the middle of the night.
But
Yeah.
am I in the understanding that I'm the only one here who was told the boogeyman was real?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone.
You're
My mother was off.
You're
No.
Kentucky bred. It's
Our
different.
parents told us the boogeyman isn't real, but don't go into the woods alone because you will get eaten.
No, but my mother used the boogeyman as an excuse to make me do as I was told, or I will die.
That's bad parenting.
Yeah. Our parents kept saying, you stay in this house, you don't go outside, you obey us, and you won't get murdered in your sleep.
Oh,
You don't.
That's what happened.
We can't control what's in the woods.
there was a few times when I was a kid where I got grounded and I just climbed out my window and went on a spree.
Like,
So I didn't listen to that part.
Spree of what?
That's
Just disappear for the day.
that's the problem, because our parents said, you go out into the woods in the night, you're gonna get ate.
there's a person out there.
You
He's gonna get
stay
you, like, Jacob Wetterling.
inside. You don't make trouble. You're not gonna have it worse.
My parents' excuse was Jacob Wetterling. That was the excuse.
All right, you guys are gonna go forever.
sorry, yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
Well, monsters
yeah.
are
this is why
horrifying.
we went 2 hours last time. So
It's true.
all right, so Michael, I have your last question.
Oh, this isn't good.
All right, samples from the moon have shown that it is not actually made of rock or metal. What is it made of?
Tapioca pudding.
Oh,
What do you mean?
That's
thought you
really
were gonna-
viscous. How did
Well, the obvious answer would have been cheese.
yes.
Fine, it's cheese.
No,
No, he said
Tapioca
tapioca.
No, it started as tapioca.
Explain
No.
tapioca. Tapioca
Your
does not make
first
cheese.
answer is the right answer. Why is it tapioca?
The visceral hate
Michael.
from this one. Well, it's very old, and it wanted to be tapioca because old people love tapioca, John.
Oh,
And it's
couldn't even be chocolate or
and that's why it
butterscotch.
looks like. I mean, tapioca is the best pudding.
No.
It kind of is.
No.
It kind of
Butterscotch.
No,
Butterscotch is
tapioca
good,
is
too.
the best.
Tapioca is better. It's-
Butterscotch is number 1. Chocolate is number 2.
chocolate is so freaking basic.
Yeah. It's still
No.
better than vanilla pudding. Vanilla is
Vanilla
the best.
is garbage.
Vanilla is the best milkshake.
No.
It goes tapioca.
Yes.
It goes
Yeah.
tapioca,
No.
and
I
then
like-
it goes chocolate.
any excuse to have butterscotch because to me, there's not enough things in the world that have butterscotch.
Yeah,
there's
butterscotch
originals.
is good, but vanilla
Yeah,
is
but
garbage.
like I like a good butterscotch malt. That is good stuff. But I will agree, a vanilla malt is just refreshing. I like that.
I'm old. I like tapioca.
But
just
you
old.
said it's pudding. So how are you going to play golf while standing on tapioca?
It's you don't.
You're gonna mix up the balls all the time.
It is going to be hard. It's going to be squishy. You're going to lose it a lot. You get one hit. If you don't get it in the hole, it's gone. So you better get good. It's a get good.
So I am picturing the moon buggy just driving on tapioca, and that's why it was built weird.
I just want to see like Neil Armstrong's like
Yes.
one small step for man.
Turns out the moon is
He just gets sucked up. It's like,
sucked
Neil
in.
Armstrong, are you okay? And then you hear over the radio, it's a little staticky. What the fuck?
It's delicious.
Neil Armstrong wasn't the first man on the moon. He was the first survivor of it.
They sent him many a
First
man.
man sunk up to his waist and then to his head.
Yes.
And then 4 leagues of tapioca
Buzz
pudding.
Fitzgerald was the first man on the moon.
Buzz Fitzgerald.
And Neil Armstrong just stood on his corpse because there was no getting out of
The
that.
first one down was just to
Yep.
make the bridge.
Yes.
I don't even know what tapioca is. I think
Man,
it's a
that would be
plant.
really upsetting to get to the moon, to live, to survive the landing, which was harrowing in and of itself, and then to land, and then to immediately step into a puddle of quicksand.
That would be bad.
Wow.
Especially since the landing gear wasn't in the quicksand. It was only you.
It's a,
Just fall into a pit.
the
Like,
tapioca
wait a
is,
minute.
doesn't
This
like
is
the metal.
bullshit.
No.
All right, so that was it for the improv trivia that we had. So next, I have some questions from the audience. These are from people that are channel supporters, either on Twitch or Patreon. So thank you to those that do support. And these are some of the questions that they asked based on some stuff earlier. So for our first question, Soul Kitty asks, and I'm guessing that none of you are going to get this reference, but I'm just going to let you go with it. If you had to fight with a team in Sonic Heroes, would you pick Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, or Team Chaotix?
Rose.
Team Rose.
I'm going to say Team Chaotix because it sounds chaotic.
Wait, am I fighting them or am I fighting with them?
I'm sure. I have no idea. I've never played it.
I'm gonna.
Which one has that bat chick with the boobs?
Rogue?
I think
Yes.
I think that's the dark team.
That sounds like the
I
dark
choose
team.
whatever the
I think
boobs-
Chaotix
So-
is the one with the bee and the crocodile and the armadillo.
So
Nobody likes the crocodile.
Team Sonic has Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Team Dark has Shadow, Rogue, and some robot
Okay.
thing.
Okay, Rogue's the
Team
one with
Rose
boobs.
has Rose, some small bunny thing, and then the big bunny thing.
Wait,
Bunny-
small
I like-
bunny
I like
or like
bunnies.
The big purple
the
one.
bionic
Tan bunny.
bunny?
And then
Tan bunny.
Team Chaotix has I guess it's an alligator and some other
That's
things.
what I was saying. Alligator, bee, and and
What-
armadillo.
Whatever Rogue is, because
dark.
it probably includes Shadow, and he has an Uzi. So
I like how you're just
and he's edgy. He's 1990s edgy.
Yes.
All right, so the next question we have here is from Buzz Filling Point.
Yeah.
Who asks, so this is because this is Memorial Day, he asks, what is your favorite thing about Memorial Day? That's easy. I get the day off,
Yeah.
I guess. There's reasons to appreciate Memorial Day and to recognize it, but if I had to say what my favorite thing is, it's because after the drought that is normally, at least in America, no holidays between New Year's and now, this is the first holiday day off. It's to have that free Monday.
Yeah, it seems kind of disrespectful to say my favorite thing is all the dead veterans.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, every single this year I didn't do it, but last year and actually this might be the first year in a long time. So I haven't gone back to my hometown where we have my grandfather and a couple of uncles, and a lot of my family has military backgrounds in it. And we always show up and they have the rifle salute, and they have it's in like a very in Center City there is one graveyard, and they walk around to all the graves and they memorialize the people who were in the service. So
I would like to say my favorite part is sleeping in, but then I only slept 5 hours last night, and I'm only fueled by alcohol at this point. So it's not that.
that's your day-to-day existence. So
Yeah, I don't sleep much.
I think all of my relatives who were in the military lived. Like, none of them died in the military.
yeah, I mean, that should be, because, I mean,
Well, that's the plan.
ideally.
You don't
Yeah.
plan to join up and die. But
I mean, some people don't.
I did have a great uncle, one of my grandfather's brothers, who was on 3 different ships in the Second World War that sunk, and he managed to survive all 3 times.
wait, that
That's
sounds like he's the one
By
that's
clambering over the
There was one of the ships where he was the only survivor.
Well, it sounds
how
like
big was the boat?
It was like
that's probably a
boats.
PT boat.
and all 3 of them were sank by
patrol boat.
by a saboteur. If only they could figure out who this one person is.
Every single time he's been on these ships, and somebody's been smoking near the diesel tanks. We don't know who it was.
I imagine at some point he was probably considered bad luck. But
Yeah.
just thinking
All
of-
right, by the third ship, he would have gained
If
reputation.
there's any group that has superstition, it's the Navy in terms of
Oh
military.
no! The Navy is based literally on superstition. Since
Yes.
the inculcation of the Navy,
Their mascot
it
is
has
a
been
goat.
superstition. Yeah, it's been superstition. It's nothing else.
I'm just thinking of Lieutenant Dan. It was just said, yeah, Lieutenant Dan. His family had a male ancestor die in every major American war.
he was like, "No, I'm supposed to die here." he was angry.
Anyway, so the next question, Null and Void asks, what are the unwritten rules of where you work? So are there any rules at work that aren't on paper, but everybody tends to do?
There are so many rules on paper.
But yeah, but well, actually, there's a lot of unwritten ones where I do that I can't bring up. But
Yeah, I was going to say, what can I not bring up that's currently
The unwritten rule that I keep telling people is, if this is not in your job, do not do it. Because once you do it, that becomes the role of everyone around you.
I know one, and it's due to the Army, but it's not due to
that's not your-
my more confidential normal job. But the Army is they do not allow you to bring your own gear on deployment. The unwritten rule, it's not written down anywhere, but there is a clause within your life insurance that if you were to be wearing anything other than the body armor that you were given at deployment, your life insurance is null and void.
So it is written down.
No,
It's a
so
written rule.
so if you, for example, like put a license plate under your shirt, your life insurance is
it
null and
doesn't
void.
specify how much you're allowed to change. It just says if you've changed it.
Well, it depends on what it said. Like if it said big booty, they'd probably be like, yeah, they take his insurance away.
His insurance is gone.
But
Yeah.
For my job, it's just 3 people. So, like, you could say there's like unwritten rules about you got to get along because we got to get the job done.
well, there's that stuff, but it's more of like
But-
what's some small little thing within a small team where it's just like y'all do something that like with your plant thing or there's some rule that you guys have, like, don't touch Bob Ross.
No, I
The
mean,
Bob Ross plant.
Bob Ross, like, is a chia pet that we have, and my boss is like super adamant, like, those chia seeds were supposed to die after a few weeks, but when he was out on vacation, I fertilized them with cornstarch to keep them going. And then he's basically has the roots growing down his face, and he's turning into an abomination because every time my boss leaves on vacation, I reapply some of the cornstarch to keep the chia alive, and it's getting bigger and like scruffier. And my boss is like, I'm gonna take that off, and I'm like, no, we should just let it go and see what happens. So like the general unwritten rule is I'm not supposed to fertilize it anymore, but I do because I slowly want Bob Ross to turn into Pennywise the Clown. And he is, because the cornstarch is like running down his face with like the veiny vines curling around his face. And I just want to see the abomination he turns into.
This is how Little Shop of Horrors starts.
Yes.
That's how Feed Me Seymour happens.
So, no, he's had the same chia seeds on his head for like half a year.
Admittedly, that's very impressive. Aren't they just, they're just, what seeds are they're chia seeds?
Yeah.
But like what is the chia plant?
It's just a weed.
I have chia seeds like almost.
It's not like a Brussels
bean
sprouts
sprouts?
plant, or
No, it just grows weeds.
No, Brussels sprouts
Brussels
are
sprouts are
plant.
just leaves.
They're the same plants as cabbage and broccoli, and
but they're Brussels.
it's the same plant. It's just, here's the sprout. It's immature cabbage.
Oh, of an immature cabbage.
And broccoli is the flower of the cabbage plant.
That's terribly
You've
wasteful.
got so
to
many
take all those-
so many flower or vegetables are just the same plant, and you just grab different parts of it.
No, I'm pretty sure
That's
cabbage
not
and broccoli
how
are
that
two different
works.
plants.
It's the same plant.
No, cabbage and broccoli are the same plant. They're different genus.
I've grown a lot of broccoli. I mean, we
So
didn't
have I.
keep anything but the broccoli.
Well,
Yeah.
you keep throwing away the
Yeah.
cabbage.
You keep
You don't keep the cabbage leaves
you keep
either.
cutting off the flowers and not leaving the
Well,
leaves.
yeah, you don't let it sprout. Broccoli sprout the flowers.
Or no, not cabbage, cauliflower. Cauliflower and broccoli.
What?
Yeah, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts.
They're all the same
It's the same species.
different genus.
Yes.
It's like dachshund and
We talked
okay.
about this: kobolds, mermaids, and elves.
a broccoli and an elf. When they love each other
Very
very
similar.
much.
You've got an elf, a mermaid, and a kobold. They put him in a room, play some Barry White. You don't know what's coming out, but something's coming out.
Yeah, and it's going to become a Sesame Street Muppet. Because that's where those things come from.
And they're green.
It's Sesame Street Muppets come from elves and
broccoli.
kobolds.
Yeah.
Those,
What is Grover?
He's a monster.
yeah.
Yes.
What, there's definitely like the meat people. Those are definitely part elf. Those are definitely elves.
Those are
part
aliens.
elves. They're part elf.
They're aliens.
Like all monsters in all existence are just like,
You,
okay, what is this?
me,
It's like, I made love to a head of cabbage.
baby, me, family.
Yes.
Me.
He's weeping.
Okay.
All right, we have time for one more. Here, and we
Too many meeps.
So, Sir Edward asked the question: online fads appear and die in the blink of an eye. So is the way of the internet. But if you had the power to control the internet, what would you make more wildly popular, and what popular thing would you want to vaporize from the web forever?
What I would make more popular is The Wiz.
Yes, the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get all the views.
It's on 98.95 The Wiz.
The Wiz.
We're on the radio.
Yes.
98.95
What-
The Wiz.
That's the hope. One day,
WIZE.
one day we'll make it to AM radio. That'll be the big times.
1400.
Yes.
1400 WICZ.
1498.95 The Wiz.
We can't agree on the number, but it's one of those 14.
Got to get one of those buttons. It's like, wow.
Yes, and then it has a fart.
Yeah,
button,
well,
too.
you have to. I've been pushing for a fart button the entire time we've been doing this thing.
Yeah, I have a fart. That's why it's actually a fart. Every time we do one of your stories, I fart.
Yeah.
Play
I
the
believe
rainbow
it.
button. No, bottom.
Is it this?
There we go.
We don't play that one enough.
We don't.
That should end with a fart, though.
But okay, so that's something you'd want to make more popular. But what would you want to remove?
Could we remove
That's
I
dangerous.
Love Carly or I Heart Carly from
Is that a
from the
popular
existence?
thing?
I don't know what
Well,
that
it
is.
was in like 2008.
It's been a while. What the heck is a Carly?
I don't know. We need to remove it.
It's
about
gone.
just
You
all-
did it. You did it, Kyle.
Everyone
Yeah, thank God.
How about just everyone under the age of 18?
Remove them?
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't have to worry about the YouTube kids
No,
thing.
we wouldn't have
That's
to worry
true.
about them having like underage stuff when they grow up. Just removing anyone from under the age of 18 from YouTube would solve so many
I
thought
feel
you
like
meant
if
from
you were on,
existence.
I feel
No,
like
not from existence, just from YouTube.
It would.
Oh,
it would just
okay. That was that. You didn't say that at all.
he did though, and you're like, yes, kill the children.
like you can only access the internet at the age of 32 and no other year.
no,
So like at the age of 32,
19.
you have 1 year.
19.
Yeah,
Like if I see anyone on YouTube, they're an 18-year-old or older.
I feel like you wouldn't.
Could you imagine the religion that would be created by the internet? But not by like adults, but by small children, like in grade school and high school. There would be a religion.
You'd relegate all of their stuff to Roblox. It's just
Oh,
you're
God,
on Roblox, you're not on YouTube, you're not on TikTok, you're just on Roblox.
I mean, I think they could solve a lot of the YouTube's problems by just having an age requirement, but
They do.
I mean,
They do have one.
they don't though.
They technically, like, I believe Twitter was one of them that they have an age requirement that you have to be 13 or older to have an account. And then there's people that have, when they're 16, stated that they opened their account when they were 12. And because they stated that, their account was removed because it was created when they were at not that age.
Yep.
And it is because, and they can't, they have proof. There's a date of when they started and a date. So like, it's actually
but I
enforced.
have zero like. I have no emotions towards somebody who is like, I joined a site when I was underage, but now it's like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, just make a new account.
I would say that someone should not have their browser history from when they were 11 kept by a gigantic corporation for all history.
Too bad.
Well, that's what
Technically,
Copa's all
that's what
about.
Copa is. They're not
Yeah, that's
supposed to
what
have any
Copa is.
data for
Well,
13 or younger.
isn't Copa just Euro zone stuff?
No.
No, Copa is an
Copa's
American.
US.
Oh, is it American? Okay.
Yeah, Copa basically states that you are not to track any information for anybody 13 and under, which is what makes it difficult because if you get something marked as Copa, that means that there's no metrics to specialize ads, and because tracking ads sucks, specializing an ad to somebody and then therefore increasing its click-through count will increase profitability for the person who's having those ads shown to. So
Yeah.
now if I had to remove something, I'd say crypto.
I mean,
I don't know
Not
if
NFTs,
crypto is
just
worth
crypto?
it.
Or blockchain, like that type of stuff.
No, blockchain could have very.
It's proven
it's-
recently not
It
to.
has
So-
terribly evil concepts. Like everything in the
you know what?
universe
The
has
person that is
terribly evil
failing.
things.
The person that
and also
invented
good
TNT
things.
had thought of all the good things. it could do.
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah,
was
and then he
was
felt
the thing,
really
yeah.
bad and created the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's
people-
I think that is there good things that could come from blockchain? Yes, but we're doing a really bad job of using it that way.
Not doing it too great.
That's
I think-
again, we need more bureaucracy.
See, this is why we can't have nice
No.
things.
I agree.
That's
Would
the
you-
whole point.
Would you rather have NFTs and blockchain taken control of
No, I would.
by guys paying money for monkeys or the U.S. government?
No, I
yeah,
would.
but-
I would way prefer.
guys paying for monkeys.
Yeah, I would way prefer to have people
Okay.
wasting their time and money on dumbass
somebody-
monkey bullshit.
But somebody
instead of
is
something
making that
else.
money.
Well, who cares?
So the money doesn't just disappear.
It's,
so
it's
somebody
idiots
is.
ruining their lives.
some
and
people
their
are, but
Scammers
for
making money and idiots losing money.
Yeah, that's what it
Versus-
is.
Well,
Yes.
versus
it basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
government trying and failing to do something good.
The government needs to do less than it.
But if
Well,
the
the
government
thing
got
is-
involved, then it's like, oh, if only there was a type of monetary currency that was controlled by the government.
If only
It's
if
called
only,
the US dollar.
That's the dark age version of blockchain. Whereas, if the government made USD blockchain, well, I guess we're in slavery now. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh.
Yes, slavery.
That's what the US
perfect
dollar is?
analogy.
U.S. Dogecoin.
No.
Like having complete and utter control over the USD, other than like I mean,
I mean, the
even
U.S.
now-
government kind of does.
But you
What are
can
talking
but
about?
you can print USD right now, but you'll cause inflation. But if you have a cryptocurrency, you can artificially deregulate whatever you print because you're in control of the currency.
Yeah, but that somebody has control, so whether it's the government or not.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you were to create USD blockchain, it would cause. It's like that one thing that there was literally a thing that happened very recently with USD. It was a cryptocurrency that was based on the US dollar. And like for every one US dollar, there was this one coin, but it also had a tie-in fillback coin to help with any inflation that would arise. So it could equalize it to zero. And the whole thing that happened was that both currencies plummeted, and then one rose to an infinite inflation and one rose to infinite zero
Deflation.
That's a rise?
Well, because one
It rose to zero.
one was created so that it would mint coins to keep the other at $1 per coin. And so that one just went skyrocketed,
that's
and
Luna.
and the other went directly down to 19 cents.
It was Luna coin, right?
Yes, it was Luna coin. Yes, it was Luna coin.
Luna coin was it wasn't called a crypto. It was stable coins.
It was called the stable coin, which is like a big quotation mark thing.
If
Yeah.
you peg a
Clearly
coin
very stable.
saying this one coin is worth $1, how does that rise?
Because it's a cryptocurrency, it's unregulated to the USD.
Because it's super confusing and nobody knows how it works.
And
If you
then when
say-
it all falls apart, nobody knows why.
Yeah, but if you say, here's Bill, and Bill will pay $1 for this coin.
That's a whole
Forever.
conversation. It is an
Yeah, that was-
interesting conversation.
That was only a little bit ago, and I believe the one guy that was trying to save it like dumped like millions of dollars of Ethereum over.
Well, the guy who originally made the whole system for USD net and also for Luna and its other subsidiaries of Luna Coin, which they had like 3 of them. He lost all of his money, but somebody somewhere, which we still do not know, gained like $400 to $500 million.
Because it's like money doesn't go anywhere.
Of push and pull, of literally just deflating the entire economy and just pulling out and then plugging it right into another cryptocurrency.
I'm just going to say Bezos.
I mean, it could be anybody. Like, it could be literally anybody.
It's either Bezos or Musk. People hate him.
No, because
Everybody hates both of those
he
people.
wouldn't hire somebody to do that. There's better ways for them to make money.
Yeah.
That's just somebody that's smart with a computer and saw an exploit. So
Well,
Well, I mean, this all comes down to like when things aren't regulated, it just opens up the gateway for scammers.
Well,
And Argo wants to get rid of it all. So
Fuck
Yes,
you.
what's the
guys.
next question?
no, that was going to be last. Well,
that's the last
well,
one?
not everybody answered it. So
Oh, Michael.
we all
what do you want to? What's the thing from the internet would you like to remove or make more popular?
Yeah, cats or...
I really love that ribs video.
Well, so not ribs.
Oh,
then.
those baby...
No, like ribs are popular without barbecue sauce. People need to watch that because it's amazing.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. And what I would get rid
So
of?
you want to remove, yeah.
What do I want to remove? Paw Patrol.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yes.
That is on
Paw
brand.
Patrol or sin?
There was that reference that they had in
Paw Patrol is
Saturday
on task.
Well,
Dale
there's that.
reference to
I
Paw
like-
Patrol.
Yeah.
He'll never have children.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Wait, what?
it was,
what?
you'll have to see the
You
movie.
have to see it. That's a reference.
Do I have to though? Can't you just tell me I don't want to watch it?
It's Disney.
I don't want to watch it.
Oh,
I wanna
Disney
give
owns
them-
all. You need to follow
Yeah,
it.
they
I
own
don't
everything.
want to go to the Pirate Bay again to get a stupid Disney show or movie. I'm tired of
You
it.
could just go to Giz and hang out.
That's true.
Moon Knight.
No, I love that SNL skit with Paw Patrol. It's like, is this run by a child? Yes! It's a 10-year-old.
He's in charge of
great.
our fire,
Yeah.
police, and EMS services.
There's a bunch of dogs.
It's literally a mess. People die all the time.
Help me get my wife out of office.
Yes, I was raped, and I had to talk to a dog concerning what a pap smear and what a genetic test was.
Yes.
What?
Pretty much. That's how it went. It's like, my water. I told them my water broke, so they sent The water dog or whatever. his fucking name was.
Public Utilities who fixes pipes. That did not solve my problem.
That's an SNL skit. So you guys
Yes,
can
it
check that
is.
out.
It's amazing.
But otherwise, that is all we have to today. Actually, keeping it within just over an hour right now. So, but
trying.
to go over what we brought for booze, John, what did you bring?
I brought a port.
Yeah, it was actually very good.
Yeah, it's a sweet wine with a really high alcohol content
Yes.
that comes from Portugal.
It actually didn't taste
It was
boozy.
delicious.
I bet that was
It
expensive.
does not. As much as any other hard alcohol. So like,
From Portugal.
But then you also brought some beers.
yeah, beers were consumed. There was a dark and stormy beer and a mint Guinness, and
Which is good.
Kyle brought stuff too.
I did. I brought a oatmeal stout, which hasn't been opened.
And
There was
Yes.
a porter. Was it a tatty porter?
yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna continue drinking.
This was a tatty porter. I also brought some ciders, but I only had one myself. So
Yeah, I had just a dark and stormy downstairs, the dark and stormy beer, and then I had some of the wine. Otherwise, I've kind of taken it a little easy tonight. So
it's not a wine. It's a port.
whatever, it's wine and
it's
wine-ish.
It comes from grapes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything that's wine.
But otherwise, we did have make Kyle drink one of the Mountain Dew hard liquor.
Oh yes, I had
Yeah.
I had
Sugar-free, caffeine-free Mountain Dew.
I had
So
teen
trash.
angst in a can.
It was
It
very aspartame.
tasted like Teen Spirit.
It tasted like artificial.
It was
spirit.
definitely teen spirit. If Kurt Cobain was alive, he would be drinking what I drank downstairs.
No, that would be selling out, and he wouldn't do that.
No, he should. Yeah,
He'd die
yeah.
first.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would find a double barrel shotgun.
Too soonish.
It was.
It's been 30 years.
It was only 8.
Oh
no,
god.
20,
30 years.
25.
It's been
Okay,
20
thank you.
It's been 25 years, and it was
was freaking
18
out.
gauge, not 12.
Yes, people who were born after that can now rent a car.
Yep.
But Michael, what'd you bring?
I just brought like the Wild State cider. I think I'm the only one who drank any of it.
It was
uh
it was good.
I've had it before. It's good.
yeah.
I didn't drink any of
No.
the cans that were here, but I've had it before.
It's decent local cider.
It's good. I like it.
It's fine.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
Yeah. Although and then you brought me a bunch of your rum from home to consume at some point.
Oh, me, yes. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Clearinghouse. So
And-
I am no longer drinking any alcohol in my house.
you're not day drinking.
So,
Yeah.
nope. Not.
And
Period,
Why not?
Period end.
and potato soup.
Oh yeah, and then Michael made some potato soup and homemade bread.
Yeah, I made
Turned out
bread
pretty good.
from scratch. It was
Yeah,
Turned
bread
out
is Memorial
Very
Day.
dense.
Had the
Very
time.
dense bread.
Yes.
mad.
No, I don't think it's that
Pretty
bad. Not as dense as
kinda
the first bread, or as dense as Michael.
Well, I
Oh, that makes sense a lot, though.
I could have left it on. I could have left it on the top of my car longer to continue to.
It turned out fine. I thought it was good. I like it that way.
Say Kurt Cobain.
Anyways, so that's going to be it for today. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Michael, do you have your words?
Oh yeah.
Is the word?
Mustachio.
No, better.
You can't
Better. Better.
Search on. Mustachio.